You made it easy when you strapped his body to a chair. So say goodbye to everything you ever knew before, and I'd understand if you went running out the door. And I'll keep you safe, and no harm will ever come to you, I swear. And I'll kill if they even dare. I'll kill, I swear.
I love how you have a dress shirt on for this.
I love putting on a dress shirt.
But your hair...
Well, I could put a hat on.
You could.
I looked really nice yesterday.
I stink. I didn't brush my teeth, and I have no bra on. But nobody can see me, so who the fuck cares?
It doesn't matter. Welcome to Michigan Murders and Music, where we discuss murders in our gorgeous state and top it off with a little homegrown music, leaving you with a happy ending and on a good note.
We like music. Music is life. Thank you for allowing us to seep into your ears. We appreciate it.
For sure. Apparently, we have new listeners.
We do. I have Midwest Medic,
Angela Rose Gilmer,
Kaylee Joe Rowe,
Carrie Johnson.
We have some old buds. I have the Ska Dad.
Wait, I still have Rocky Ballard.
Oh, shit. Okay, now we have
Old
old
buds.
buds. The Ska Dad.
Uper 182.
You guys, go to Uper 182's TikTok. He has good music, but he hasn't recorded anything, so I can't get him on our podcast.
Gosh darn it.
I have Danny.
And Big G.
Big G.
Can I give an explicit content
I would
warning?
love you to. I'm going to sit here and smoke this big 2-gram Jeter.
Her Highness will say naughty words, things that are offensive to most people.
Pussy?
Hey.
Cat?
Okay. She's going to offend a lot of people with her foul mouth. When I say foul.
Have a bird mouth.
Yes.
What
I'm
the
not,
hell?
She's going to do that. And if you catch your child squishing stink bugs and then sniffing them, we're not responsible for that kind of behavior.
We do not have stink bug squishing insurance.
Nope.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
Ew. Stink bugs are fucking bastards.
You gotta sniff
Why
them,
do
though.
they even... Ugh.
I sniff them after I squish them.
I was ID'd buying a can of air.
What? Oh, well, yeah, because people huff them.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ma'am, why are you IDing me? She said, because you're buying huffing stuff. Jesus, what the fuck?
And you had gold spray paint all over the front of your face.
We would like to keep our podcast commercial-free and independent. So if you're feeling a little tipsy, you can check out the description below and hit the tipsy jar. You can go to our website. We also have merch available. There's all kinds of things you can do to help us out over here.
Do us a favor and share us with a friend. Follow us on all the places. Is Instagram still a thing? Is it?
Yes, it's TikTok you're thinking about.
Oh, got it. Facebook. Okay, TikTok, whatever.
TikTok's supposed to be disappearing, but I don't know when or why, and I feel like somebody's going to buy it.
Or just look us up. You can find us.
You can find
Send us a message.
This week, the band that we are featuring is The Founding. They're a progressive Celtic band. I think you guys are going to like them. Totally different than anything
From Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Completely different than anything we've played on here before. So I'm excited to share them with you.
The song is called Silhouette Against the Soil.
Yes, sir. Shall we get into this fucking story?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to Kentwood. Kentwood.
Show me it. Show me it.
It's over here, just south of Grand Rapids, just very slightly south.
Just on the tippy tip edges.
On my hand, right where that thing is.
I had cousins that went to Kentwood High School.
I'm sorry.
You don't say something like that when I'm taking a drink. George Yzaguirre. We're going to say Yzaguirre because this is how it's spelled. Y-Z. It starts with a Y-Z. How? Why?
Right. Yzaguirre.
Yzaguirre, Yzaguirre, Yzaguirre.
Yeah, it's a Zaguire.
We're going to use that Y silently, as it should be.
George was born in 1983 and grew up in the Kent County area of Michigan.
That would be our area.
Yep.
He attended Kelloggsville High School However, he ended up not graduating. Boot,
Yes.
you looked up Kelloggsville High School because neither of us knew
It's
where
the
the fuck it
Kentwood
was.
area.
Yeah, but I always thought they had Kentwood schools. So
And I was
Golly,
Right.
where does Kelloggsville fit in? Do we even have a Kelloggsville,
I
Michigan?
don't know. I thought it would have been in Battle Creek,
What
like
the
where
fuck
the
do we
Kellogg's thing is.
We don't know jack shit. We're just here to tell you a little story, guys. From what I read, he was in and out of trouble as a teenager.
Unfortunately, that pattern did not change as an adult.
It did not. He would be in and out of the Kent County Jail a few times.
Drunk driving,
Resisting arrest,
drugs.
alcohol-related problems. You know, it'll do it to you every time.
None of which could give anyone the idea that he would end up a homicidal or even violent
Person.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read that he was subcontracting work by restoring floors. It seems like he didn't really hold a steady job. He sold weed on and off, I think, and he just kind of worked at random places.
Upstanding young man.
Yes, exactly.
According to a news article from WZZM 13's website, in February of 2017, George ran a red light on 52nd and Christine Avenue.
He smashed into a Hope Network bus. You guys, those kids are probably still mortified by that, or those adults on the Hope Network bus.
George's blood alcohol level at the time was 0.32%.
Ouch.
That's 4 times the legal limit.
That was me every time I drank. That's why I quit drinking.
Because you smashed into a Hope Network bus?
I didn't tell you.
Oh.
It's a secret. He spent a whopping 5 days in jail and only had 1.5 years of probation.
That's a slap on the wrist.
It's a fucking slap on the wrist is all. What about those poor mentally adjusted people in the Hope Network bus? They probably still are having fears over being
Jeez,
hit by
don't
a
even
car.
dare get on a bus anymore.
No. Thanks a lot, George. You fucked them all
You
up.
fucking fuck. George sold weed often throughout his life.
This is how he would end up meeting his future wife. At the time, she was living with her boyfriend, and George would swing by and sell weed to him. They actually lived in the same apartment complex.
Eventually, Jennifer would break up with her boyfriend, and George weaseled his way into her life.
He love bombed her.
What? I
He
don't know what that
love
means.
bombed her. It means he knew she was in a crappy relationship, so he gave her like a ton of attention.
Oh, my
and,
God, that's
like
a thing.
they call it love bombing. And then after they're done love bombing you, they fuck you over. Like when they suck you in,
That's a neat psychological thing that I had never heard of.
you gotta look into it.
I
I
gotta
bet
work
when
that
you
up and
get
use it to my advantage.
When you get to work, you're gonna be printing out papers about love bombing instead of beetle poop.
What? I like to read about beetle poop.
He prints out weird things at work to read, you guys.
The two of them would date for 1 month before moving in together.
Like I said, they were in the same apartment complex, so they're probably kind of like, fuck it. We're together all the time anyways. We might as well save some bucks.
Might as well. The beginning of their relationship was good, except when he drank.
And then it wasn't. It was good until it wasn't. During this time, Jennifer had met and become friends with George's good friend, David.
David. These are the Daves I know.
These are the Daves I know. That's really funny because I was thinking about the Davids that we knew.
So many Davids.
And I was thinking about the
Daves.
fact that 2 of them are from the UP.
Oh, yes, that's right.
David the tattooer and David the snowboarder.
Yes.
Weird, isn't
Yes.
it?
So many Daves. Many times, with Dave's help, the two of them would be able to help George not to drink. Just never seemed to last very long.
David and George, the 2 of them had grown up together, and George considered David his brother and David's parents his parents, kind of like Tyler does us. David's parents adopted George into their family.
At one point during the show, Evil Lives Among Us, Jennifer stated that he was sober and doing really well.
Except at that time, he worked at a beer factory and the temptation was strong.
I can understand that. If I worked at a beer factory, it's
Bro,
like, oh,
you would
it's
be.
break time. Would you like a little something,
That
something?
wouldn't work out so well.
Yes, please.
He drove a high-low, and one day he got drunk, and he crashed a high-low into a huge stack of glass beer bottles.
Yeah, he got fired.
I'm not going to lie. I want to see the video
I do.
to that.
It's
And
probably out there.
Our friend Cheryl drives a high-low, and she could back up on a dime. She could flip a dime with that bitch.
I've seen people do that. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Not in real life, only on videos.
Well, if it's online, it's got to be
After
true.
4 years of dating and sober for 2 years, George and Jennifer got married.
That's so cool. The night of their wedding, George broke his sobriety, and he fell off the wagon in so many ways. No, that is just such the biggest disappointment. Jennifer has been with him for 2 years, and on his fucking wedding night, he fucking starts drinking.
He's a fucking douche.
God, that
we know
pissed
he's a
me
douche.
off.
Not only did he drink the night they were married, but he became physically abusive with her that night.
On their goddamn wedding night.
That's lovely.
Soon
Douchebag.
after they were married, she learns just how controlling he is.
He's a great guy, apparently. Likes to party and have fun, but when he starts drinking, he gets his bullshit out on Jennifer.
How many times have we seen this happen?
I know.
Personally. His partying does not stop, and Jennifer ends up being with him for quite some time.
David, the high school friend, starts dating somebody seriously. Her name is Julia.
She's cute, too.
And the four of them often hang out together. It's kind of neat.
It is. I love it. I mean, it works,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
If all four of you get along great.
I know.
It's so
Couples
much fucking
just get
fun.
together.
This gave a few more people's eyes into the relationship of George and Jennifer, though. Many times during their marriage, Jennifer stated that he would be gone for hours at a time and never tell her where he was.
So I kind of do that when I'm out bicycling.
I kind of tell you to fucking do that.
Yes, you do. Just get the F out of the
The
house.
other day during a snowstorm, I was like, can you please go for a bike ride?
I said no, but I hid in the basement for a few hours. I put a
locked
blanket
you
over
down
myself.
there.
Under
Dude,
the stairs.
one night he came home with 2 fucking teardrop tattoos on his left eye.
2 of them.
They were outlines. They weren't filled in for those of you that are in the know.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I do not know.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm not telling you.
Okay. They argued over the tattoos, of course, because Jennifer knew. George tried his best to convince her that they meant he lost somebody and that he didn't hurt or kill anyone.
Then who the hell did you lose? Don't you think your wife would know if you lost a friend?
It's just someone. It's none of your business.
None, yeah. She finally let it go, and as much as she wanted to leave him, his threats of choking her stopped her from doing so. Basically, just kept her under his thumb and in fear, so she wouldn't want to leave him.
Is it just that easy?
Yes.
I can threaten to choke you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, and you
Just-
won't leave?
Wait till you go to sleep, son.
You
You can try to choke
those
me.
penis and balls, they're going to be missing.
They're going to be missing.
Jennifer and George were living in a duplex on Kimball Avenue.
This also freaks me out because my sister lived in a duplex down there when I was young.
Did you, really?
I didn't look it up because I was afraid it might be one of the same ones. I can
Probably.
almost envision where it was. I think I was like 10 or something, but it was all in that same fucking area.
So I don't want to say it like straight up it's ghetto down there, but it's getting pretty bad in that area.
There are areas that are worse than others. Yes, Kentwood and Wyoming are not
Things that are
currently
just
in
weird.
the best shape.
Mhm.
Their friend David moves in with them to help with the bills and help with George's drinking.
In October 2019, Jennifer just can't stand it any longer, and she bravely leaves George and her dog to go stay with her sister. She left her dog.
Yeah, you know it's bad if you're leaving your dog behind.
Oh, man.
Now it's just George and David living at the duplex, like a little bachelor pad. But
Oh, isn't
David
that
has
fun?
his girlfriend, so he's not.
One night, November 27th, 2019, The two of them were hanging out, and apparently David said something to George that he wasn't too fond of.
Maybe it was something about his drinking.
Probably, but we'll never find out what he said.
That same evening, late into the wee hours, David and Julia were video chatting as they did every day. The chat went on till around 4 a.m.
While David is chatting away, enjoying his life with his beautiful girlfriend, George is lying in wait with a knife.
Oh my God, George. David ends his call with Julia, and he lies down on the couch to go to sleep.
Beautiful. He's happy, full of happy feelings.
Life is great, of course.
Yeah. This is when his longtime friend of years and years, George, takes the knife and plunges it over and over into David. How many times?
Oh my God, 70 fucking times.
That's a hate crime. That's
70 times.
It's insane to me.
I can't wrap my head around that. The next day, Julia attempts to get a hold of David, as she does every day, and her attempts are futile, which worries her. It's completely unlike David to let her calls and texts go unanswered. He just doesn't. He's in love with her.
The next day was Thanksgiving, and still no word from David. Not to Julia or his family.
Julia tried numerous times to call David's roommate and friend, George, and gets no answer from him either.
The family all just started looking around for David. Even Jennifer, George's still wife at the time, looked when she could.
Last night.
I wanted to cross it off when the H was malfunctioning. That's hard enough. It's like I got to translate words. So should I put an H?
I had no idea how much the H was used in the fucking English language.
Dude.
No idea until you can't have it in your typing. It's like, what kind of fucking Morse code is this?
This is code. Try to decipher it.
Exactly.
I can't even read it.
Would George find? I expected to actually glance at your notes and see a bunch of drawn in H.
After about the first 20, I said, you know what?
You adjusted?
I know what's going on here. It's a technical issue.
Technical foul.
It's not you. It's your equipment.
It's me. When George finally answers a call from Julia, he seems totally unfazed. He's not even worried about David being gone. In fact, he actually just tells her that David's out of town on a bender.
A bender, like my favorite character from Futurama.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be on a bender if I could. The first welfare check was requested by Julia. They went to, it's not welfare like you're getting money. It's welfare by the police. They went to the duplex and nothing stood out, so they really couldn't do much of anything.
Okay, so was that note about welfare written in your little sidelines? Like, not welfare as in...
Well, I hear welfare check, and I think
you just
the people that,
go there.
that get money from the government.
I got you.
Which I wish I could.
Right? George wasn't home at the time either, just the dog that Jennifer sadly had to leave behind.
They do find David's vehicle.
You guys become such good friends.
I know.
Jeez, you and Dave just been hanging?
Yeah, so they do find David's vehicle not too far away in a church parking lot.
Of course, George still hasn't answered any of his phone calls from anyone at all, except for that one call he did with Julia.
He wasn't in the church either.
And he wasn't in church, for sure.
Monday, December 2, 2019, missing by his family.
He had missed his father's birthday party and was still not answering calls. None of this was like him.
December 3rd, Jennifer goes to pick up her dog. She knows the dog is there alone because she knows everything that has been happening.
Wisely, when asking her sister to go with her, her sister says that they should call the cops and have them,
meet them
there.
Do an actual welfare check.
Assist them in case something may or may not happen.
Seem okay.
Well, with George having been violent towards Jennifer previously and with the current situation, it's the smartest move those two could have ever done.
Jennifer unlocks the door and she's kind of looking down and around for her dog, but the police see the couch.
Ugh, if you saw the couch, you wouldn't be able to get it out of your mind. She is immediately escorted outside and told that her home is now a crime scene.
The police noticed no forced entry, just like they are not on the wellness check.
Just like they had. Oh, it's that H again. The police noticed no forced entry, just like they had not on the wellness check. However...
Fucking H.
Well, fix my lap.
However, the living room...
Is it however?
This is awesome.
Fucking
That's like, however, the living room was not an obvious crime scene.
Oh, there's no H's in the sentence except for that one.
However, the living room was... God damn it.
I cried.
Dead kittens. However, the living room area was an obvious crime scene, surprisingly, for the amount of stab wounds that were inflicted. It was not as bloody and as bad as you would have thought.
Dexter wouldn't have needed a lot of yarn for this scene.
Oh my God, I love his scenes where he
we gotta start watching it again.
strings.
Plus, there's 2 new Dexter shows out we haven't seen.
What?
Yeah, we're way behind.
Okay.
Jennifer had been texting and calling George prior to going to their home to let him know that she was going to pick up the dog. Another smart move.
You're right. I'm not sure if he knew that she was bringing the police with her, but definitely knew that ain't going to walk into the
God
stop.
damn it, there's no H's again.
What?
There wasn't that many missing H's on that sentence. There was 2 missing H's. My God, you're dramatic.
2, 3, 4.
There's no
6.
way.
Oh, it gets worse on the next one, number 73.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm not sure if he knew that she was bringing the police with her, but he definitely knew what the hell she was going to walk into when she stepped foot into the front door of their marital home.
That was amazing that you just read that without any H's written down.
Well, guess what? This one was typed on a different computer because I lost the entire fucking thing and had to retype it all on this computer.
Well, you retyped it without H's in there.
That same day, the day my mother brought me, Your Highness, into this lovely world, December 3rd, George walks his teardrop tatted face into a Home Depot of all fucking places on 54th Street and Division Avenue and asks the front desk assistant clerk all casually if he can use her phone or if she can call the cops because he just killed 2 friends.
Yeah, and she says, "Sir, I don't make enough money for this kind of bullshit.
That's what I said.
I work
she
at
said.
Home Depot." Oh. So she actually
I was
called.
thinking, I do not make enough money for this bullshit. Also, why at fucking Home Depot?
I don't know, because it was closest.
And he never tells us.
He didn't have a car.
He did too.
She calls 911 very calmly for him.
I called 911 a long time ago.
Great song.
And did they come?
The police
I don't think
show up, and he is uneventfully taken into custody.
It's just crazy to me. During interrogation / confession, George doesn't unload a ton of detail, and he definitely doesn't show remorse or emotion.
He just says that he was mad at something David. So he waited for him to go to bed and then stabbed him.
Okay.
Easy enough. I mean,
yeah.
you got to understand that. I mean, shit, you say something wrong. What do you expect?
I completely understand it. It's like when you say, well, what were you wearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you got out of your attempted murder charges.
The crime scene photos back this up as there was no evidence of a struggle anywhere.
George then moved the body and left the house.
He went on his merry Grim Reaper way. He tells his detectives that he went to visit someone else he knew 2 days later and planned to rob him.
This gentleman was a guy that George used to work with and someone who he used to deal weed with. He used to deal weed with him or something. I don't know. His name was Ed Fuller.
Ed lived in Kentwood in a mobile home park called Pine Gate Village.
Sounds pleasant, doesn't it?
This was just 2 days after stabbing his best friend. He went to rob Ed, but somehow decided to stab and kill him also.
Well, what was he wearing?
How do you go? Dun.
See? Thankfully, we didn't find the number of times that he stabbed Ed.
I'm okay with that.
Yes.
I don't need to know. The crime scene is eerily familiar to the first one, but they didn't have any connection between the two men and George.
He leaves and tries to use Ed's card, his credit card, debit card, whatever, at numerous stores. And then police would eventually see this during their investigation.
Finally, he tells them where he put his longtime friend's body. This freaks me out.
I know it freaks you out. I know where their area is there. Go ahead.
The poor body of David was out on Lake Michigan Drive in a small wooded area. You guys, how many people drive by? I drive by there twice a week at least.
All day. And you
God.
never look sideways. If you do, you're like, I wonder if there's a warbler flying through.
You and your damn bird watching. Just never ends. I heard you ask Google this morning what the sound of some weird bird was.
So I was listening to birds. You can't always see them. At some point, it was reported that George admitted to the detectives that he would kill again.
Why would you say that, George? That's a dumb thing to say.
Well, he's a badass, apparently.
Given the tattoos on his face, do you think he killed before George and Ed?
I don't know.
That's the big question.
George was charged with first-degree murder.
Felony murder.
And armed robbery.
George waived his rights to a prelim hearing on Wednesday, April 15. Also, I hate all the fucking trials that happen
God, I know you do.
During COVID times. There's nobody, there are very few actual in the courtroom things that happen. Most of it was via Zoom, and they all had those stupid fucking masks on their face.
The judge did a very unusual thing. He gave the families a microphone during the arraignment.
That's really weird. Usually they have their statement at a sentencing. I don't know if it's because of COVID or...
Oh, he wanted to hear what kind of shit they were saying.
Well, no, Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to say.
David's mom, who had taken George into her home just like a son, was fiery mad. It was heart-wrenching.
I can't imagine.
And horrible to watch.
Here helping this young man, and then he kills her son.
Oh, my God. She was like, we let you into our home. Ugh.
One of the women said, burn in hell, George.
On Wood TV Channel 8 video, you can see these statements. It's a little bit empowering, but mostly heartbreaking.
The trial was in August 2020, and George pleads guilty.
His still wife, Jennifer, decided she could not attend the trial, and I don't blame her one bit. You find out you were married to someone who killed your very best friend. Oh, my God. Julia, David's girlfriend, did go to the trials, though, and she ended up giving an impact statement. And that takes cojones.
Yeah.
And I am so proud of her.
Julia and Jennifer remain friends to this day.
September 3rd, George was sentenced with consecutive life sentences handed out by Judge Mark Chusak.
2 consecutive. Because he pled guilty, he was actually charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 felony murder.
Jennifer went on to file for divorce from this douche, and he still tried to hold power over her by refusing to sign the divorce papers. You fucking twat. Come on. That's just a twat move.
Oh, yeah, he's a cock. All he did.
God damn it. Fucking H.
I don't know what that means. All he did was prolong the situation because Jennifer was going to win that battle. They were divorced 8 months later.
Fuck yeah. Jennifer wins.
Yeah, and she had to pay a whole bunch of money to an attorney.
I hope not.
I
bet maybe she was able to get it waived because he's in jail. I hope there's that kind of law out there because otherwise, fuck that bullshit.
Man.
May 16, 2021, correctional officers were strolling around their little jail cell duties,
Doing the rounds.
and they found George in his cell,
Oh, that's too bad.
dead
Aw.
from apparent suicide.
Aw.
He had no control over others anymore, Boo, or his own life, so he couldn't handle it. A twat. He's a twat, Knuckle.
Well, he's a bitch. He's a little
Camel
bitch.
toe.
The little bitch never showed an iota of remorse at any time.
He just sat there with his fake ass tears tattooed on his face like a bitch apologizing.
He was 7 years old
Oh
when
my
he
God.
took his own life.
After David passed away in such a brutal fashion, that same week, or maybe it was the week after, Julia found out that she was pregnant with David's baby. Aw, hearts.
You know what?
Hearts and heart beating. It's both beautiful and
Horrifying.
hard at the same
Jeez.
time.
You got a killer's baby in your belly.
No. David wasn't the killer. David was the victim.
Gotcha.
So David
Okay.
and Julia.
God, I get it now. Gosh darn it. Neat.
Isn't that cool?
It is. Girl power.
Now Jennifer and Julia and the baby live on as friends. Boo, I first watched this episode when I was being lazy and just laying in bed watching I'm Related to a Killer.
I've never seen you laying in bed being lazy.
Oh, I'm good.
That's
I'm
weird.
so glad you haven't. And that was on Amazon Prime. And I was watching
We
it.
don't subscribe to that.
Yes, I do. We have Amazon.
I told you to cancel it.
I don't like you. And I told you. No.
Nair.
So I'm watching I'm Related to a Killer. Guess what comes on? Mark Lutinsky. The fucking guy from Nuevo, the guy killer. And then right directly after that comes on, this comes on. I was like, Jesus, Michigan.
Oh my God, Michigan.
And that's when I was like, well, I got to do this story because we already did the other story.
The rest of the information was
Deemed
from numerous news articles, news videos, and court documents.
Crazy ass story.
God.
And if I could ask one question of George, oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah. Well, you
Fuck.
can try it. I mean, you light some candles. And...
You know, I'm going to have a seance. I want to know. I forgot what my question was.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about marijuana. You can have the most strongest conviction and then forget it 10 seconds later. And you feel so much better about yourself.
What was I? Oh, why?
Oh, God.
I remember. Home Depot. Why?
Why Home Depot?
Did he want to go to?
I know.
That's the weirdest thing to me.
Maybe it's a close place to walk. He was just trying to get the
Well, if
blood
you
off his hands. Had to go
hop
pee-pee.
over the next road down and go to the Walmart.
No, you get shot there. That's that one.
There's always fights. There is so much shit going on at that Walmart. It is crazy. My son was like, sorry I'm late. Some women are in a fight in front of me. Where the fuck are you at?
Walmart.
Bitch, stop going to that Walmart. I have a grandkid I need you to raise. Okay, Boo, who are we featuring this week?
This week we are featuring a band called The Founding. Silhouette Against the Soil.
Founding is a progressive Celtic band out of Kalamazoo. You can find their information on...
That's close by.
Yeah, you can find their information on Bandcamp, and I will link all the information below. Here's the song Silhouettes Against the Soil. Enjoy.
White soap sky, red dawn on the horizon. We say farewell to tomorrow's friend. The vines reach over their gravestones. speak of sorrow, empty melodies, they float away. We wake, we sing, we speak of memories of towns and souls of lives just swept away. Every whisper, every voice will drown beneath our song. Forth, wounded trumpet call, their eyes look forward, hands on their hips, they beckon on. Others towards them, they drink but give no link. We wake, we sing, we speak of memories of towns and souls of lives just swept away. Every whisper, every voice will drown beneath our song. And fires of their heart, they burn from the ground. Oh, they double the rest of the soul and become dark to the eye. Faceless cannot through the God-entrenched bodies of water and light gleams from its surface and rests on the back of our eye. We wake, we sing, we speak of memories of towns and souls of lives just swept away. Every whisper, every voice will drown beneath our song. Rain has washed drowsy children play in the rain, seldom looking down.
Thank you for choosing Michigan Murders and Music. Please rate the show wherever you listen. Michigan Murders and Music is produced by The Boots. Episodes are researched and written by Your Highness. Edited by Your Highness. Views and opinions are the sole stupidity of us and us alone. Don't blame others, please. Listening to this podcast could quite possibly cause major problems to your earballs and definitely will mess up your kids. Permission has been given to us by the bands, and we purchase our music on Bandcamp.com. Support your local music scene and all local music scenes.